This is not a test. This is rock and roll.
I wake up every morning in a bed that's too small, drive my daughter to a school that's too expensive, and then I go to work to a job for which I get paid too little.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
You're waking up with the morning app on 90.5 WASU.
Good morning, Appalachian State University, and welcome to the morning app. We are back. We got a huge cast today. I'm Dovy. I'm here with Kati and also Lexi and a very newcomer, Mr. Nate over here.
I am a very new.
Very new person here. For those of you who don't know, he is also Loopy, a very regular host of his own talk show.
Yeah, that's tonight, right?
It is tonight, and I also DJ today at 3, so I'll be on air 4 hours today.
Whoa.
There you go.
He'll be on all day. If you love his sweet, crispy voice, you know when to tune in.
And if you don't,
It's,
You know when not to do.
Yeah,
today's not a good day.
yeah, I was about to say. But yeah, we are all back. We were all in New York City, actually, when we were all in New York City earlier this past spring break together. And that was really, really fun. Since you came in a little bit, you were there actually a little bit longer than we were. And we were there for the IBS conference. I know, Kati, you might have been able to talk a little bit about it on Monday. Mm-hmm. But we haven't been able to talk about that since we were all there together, since we were all kind of traveling about. I don't know if you had any other specific stories or anything that came up about that trip that you wanted to talk about and share.
Well, I was there just, I don't know, as like my spring break. And I didn't really go, like you guys went for the IBS awards, and I didn't go to that, but I came later, like you said. And me and my best friend Logan, we basically just had no plans, went into the week barely having any plans, and then we kind of just, explored around and like got to see a bunch of different stuff, and it was really fun. So it was a good week.
Yeah.
Were you staying in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we were.
Did you get to check out Brooklyn? Because we only got to really be around Manhattan.
Yeah, we did. Not like a ton, but it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. So we didn't get to explore as much as we thought, but it was still super fun, and we did get to explore a little bit of Brooklyn, since we live there. So
Nate got to show me the magic that is the M&M store.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great. Yeah, we
in New York
Dude,
City.
yeah.
And when he was explaining it to me, I was like, dude, what's so special about M&Ms? I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
I like the candy. They're great, but once we went in there and then the smell hits you and then you realize you can buy like M&M anything, M&M towels, M&M, keychains. That's a given. But
Didn't
like,
you get a blanket?
I did get a blanket.
you got an M&M blanket. It was actually fairly priced for New York City. It was like $25 or something.
The one I got was $5.
Well, yeah, it was like you get one with it was like $5 with a purchase or something. So is that
Something
what
like
you
that.
did?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Nice.
I got like some coffee flavored M&Ms. They had the jalapeno M&Ms. They had this whole.
Are the coffee ones good? Because I feel like I've had them before and I didn't like them.
They weren't. I thought they weren't coffee enough,
Okay.
but they were. The hint was there, and
See,
it's
Okay.
pretty good.
I don't drink coffee. So when I had the one that you gave me, I thought it was an explosion of coffee.
Oh my
yeah.
god.
I don't have taste buds anymore.
I suppose it's all relative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
It was great. We went to the Disney store. That was absolutely magical.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's obsessed with Disney stuff. I snapped, chatted us like going up the escalator.
Yeah.
And it
With
had,
the
like,
tangles?
Yeah. And she was just like, Dovy, that looks like Disney. I don't know what that is.
Because there's like lanterns, like the paper,
so
the like paper lanterns or whatever, like all over the top of the like escalators. So it feels like you're in that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's very cool. Very cool.
That
Did you
was
guys see the Captain Marvel
the costume.
Oh, yeah.
suit? Yeah. it was
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Wait, was
What?
that the actual suit?
Yeah. No,
yeah,
they were
no,
the
it
ones
was
that
the
they
actual
wore
one
in
that
the-
was
I didn't
worn
know
by
that.
Brie Larson.
I was just like, well, that's cool. Can you buy that?
Did you not read the sign? There was like a little sign on it that said like it was
Worn
the
by
costume
Brie
worn
Larson.
by
I didn't have.
Larson, Jude Law. I feel like
Oh
they
my
had someone
God,
else's
yeah.
costume in there too, but I
Yeah.
don't remember whose it was.
What, the
I
thing-
only got one with Jude Law's costume because
really?
Jude Law, like,
The thing that Nate and I were the most blown away by was when you go to the Toy Story section, they have all the like the toys in the original packaging style.
Like from the movie.
From the movie.
So the
That's
Buzz Lightyear had
crazy.
the, the spaceship
Oh my
design. Zurg was crazy. You know how Zurg, or is it Zorg? I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
It's Zurg, yeah, you're
I
right.
thought, yeah, Zurg. He has this like blaster that shoots out little balls
Okay.
in the movie. You know what I'm talking about? That was engineered into the toy
Yes.
for the actual Zurg that was in there. That's the thing. When we read it in the back, I'm like, that would be crazy if they actually did it, and they did it, and I was blown away. It was wonderful.
it doesn't take much sometimes.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that, like, especially just in Times Square, you can amuse yourself for just like hours because it's so just everything's
Oh,
so
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, someone was telling me though that she has a friend that lives in New York and won't go to Times Square because it's too like touristy now. But I was like, come on.
I could imagine. I mean, you might be able to do it once.
You couldn't
What?
walk anywhere without someone being like, "Can you take our picture?"
Yeah, yeah.
You'd be like, "Stop."
Because everybody in New York has to, like, they're always doing something. They're always
Yeah.
on the way to something.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
always in a hurry. And they always have a schedule that they need to follow really strictly. And so, like, if you have, like, a bunch of tourists in one area and you literally can't walk anywhere, I
Yeah.
get why people wouldn't
yeah.
want to go there.
It'd be
Unless
so
you
annoying.
work there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it
Well,
makes sense.
the time of year we were there, it wasn't really that touristy per se compared to like New Year's,
Oh
or
yeah. Oh goodness.
maybe even summer. Maybe I don't know. There might be some summer dates where people are always there, but
Yeah.
it was nice because I've only ever been there when it was like Christmas or New
Really?
Year's.
Cold.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it is a lot. It's specifically driving wise, like on the roads. We had to actually take a taxi because we gave up on the subways.
Oh,
Oh, I love the
no.
subway, though.
We were close.
We were really close. We were doing really well the whole night. We were figuring it out because there was one night where we got to do our own thing, and so Nate and I, and Nate, and Kyle, who works at App TV, we all got to like wander off, and we were it was so great. We were figuring out the subway stuff, but at the end of the night, I think one of them just closed because it was the weekend or something.
It had a broken elevator. And since the elevator was broken, they wouldn't let anyone off. So they closed the stop.
Oh, good. So we couldn't figure anything out. We couldn't figure out what other subway to take, so we kind of gave up. We were like, we're not real New Yorkers. Let's just get a taxi. And when we got out the taxi, we're like, dude, don't tell anybody about this. Like, we killed it. We nailed it. And like, as we step out of the taxi, Rob, who's our kind of like advisor, he works at App TV as well. He was just standing right at the corner of the street where we got off.
Though
Doesn't say a word. We're like,
it wasn't just that he lived in New York for like a year or two or something.
yeah.
And so he was trying to teach us everything, and we're like trying to, show that we knew what we were doing. So like, of all the people to see them get out of the taxi, that's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but we're from Boone. We can't get mad about that. So
Nah, yeah.
stick around because we're gonna be right back. We're gonna talk a little bit more about the Bachelor and why it's my least favorite show now
Stop.
on the morning app.
Morning App on 90.5 WASU.
If you tune into our show regularly, then you know that I've just recently become a Bachelor addict. It's my first time watching the show this season. I absolutely loved every step of it until this stupid finale. It was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm going to warn you, we are going to get into some major spoiler territory here. But I don't think we're really spoiling that much.
I feel like it's all over social media now, too. So even if it'd be hard to avoid.
All right, so how do we begin this? Because Nate doesn't watch the show.
No.
So,
we were talking about it earlier though, and he was like following along and seemed interested at least.
Right. So I'm gonna try to explain this initially as if no one's seen The Bachelor, right?
Okay.
And what happened in this finale. So you know the concept. One guy dates 30 women, tries to find someone to marry in the course of like a month. And so every week, girls get eliminated. And eventually they get down to 2 ladies and The Bachelor, and then he picks between the 2. Simple concept, they go on dates, this one, in this season, The Bachelor gets dumped by one of the gals. And then he starts going crazy. Mm-hmm. He jumps over this fence. You know how it goes.
If you jumps over a fence, you know it's going down.
You know it's going down.
He was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. Was trying to quit.
He was like,
he told her,
yeah.
well, no, because it wasn't just that she broke up with him. It was like, she was basically like, listen. Yeah, she was like, I don't think that I can be on this anymore because I'm just not sure, and I don't want to take that opportunity away from you to have those other 2 girls, you know what I mean? Like, have better opportunities with them, like, if we didn't work out kind of thing. And so then she just basically panicked and was like, okay, I'm out. And then he was like, no, but you're the one I want to win all this. I love you, la la. I was like, all the things basically the Bachelor is not supposed to say. And then he just jumped the fence. And it was like,
yeah, I mean,
he was just like, where do you go from?
He was shaking so hard that the microphone was like picking him up, like rattling. And when he would actually, what was crazy, so here's what he does. He decides to break up with the other 2 that are like
still left, yeah.
Wife material. Like, he breaks up with one of the girls that like when it's happening, she immediately goes, "Hey, it's gonna be all right." Like, she's still comforting him, even though he's
he was
breaking up with her.
Rattled.
Oh,
I mean, they would hug, and you can hear their heartbeats through the mic.
Yeah.
Whew. Dude, it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. I don't know why he wanted to go with Cassie, though. She just seemed, I don't know, she just did not seem ready. I didn't think she would be ready for a while.
Mm-hmm. But I think that was some of it, too. The other 2 girls were so, like, I don't know,
they're very sure of their feelings.
They were, and they would tell him, like, I'm in love with you, or I'm falling in love with you. They were very, like, forward about, like, okay, I want all this. And then Cassie was very kind of mysterious, kind of just, like, never making any, you know what I mean?
And that's why I was
the
just
hard
like,
to get one. And, like,
yep. I was like, this
exactly.
stupid boy.
Yep.
I really do think it was because she was like, you can't have me. And he was like, I'm in love.
Like, oh, really?
I really, that's my perception of it. I could be wrong. He could have, he did say, like, I have something there that I don't have with the other girls. But what was weird about it was because you made a good point earlier when we were talking about it before the show. You said that because that happened, that's not what normally happens. Usually you have another 2 episodes so that because the other 2 girls are supposed to go on dates. There's supposed to be more things that happen. He goes home and introduces the 2
they had more content
to the parent. There wasn't enough happening, so they had to revert to this like live 2-episode event where they were doing a live stream of the episode in an audience.
They normally do that, don't they?
I think so.
With
in the final rose ceremony.
It just felt dragged out.
They normally do have that, but it's not as awkward. There's not as much, like, where you can tell that they're just trying to kill time, basically, Because that's how, even the Monday night's episode, you could tell they were just dragging it out. You know, they were pulling out past Bachelors.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to see this. This is not the
Dude, they were
content I
doing,
came here
the past
for.
Bachelors were doing play-by-plays
Yeah,
It was bad.
on whether or not the current Bachelor would get.
And honestly, it just seemed like they were kind of thrown in there last minute as like a fail-safe or something.
Yeah.
Just like, just go out there. We need to film more time, because they had no idea what they were saying. They were just kind of like talking in like nonsense. You know what I mean? They said nothing.
We need to have, instead of the sports rap, some kind of like the Bachelor equivalent.
Oh gosh.
It's just all guys talking about. I think she's gonna be the Bachelorette. If you look at her, stats from the season.
Oh my god.
But dude, no, I was just so committed to this whole thing. We had a whole fantasy like Bachelor.
Yeah, no,
league
but
that
I won, by the way, because I had Cassie. So
Who
and he didn't.
I didn't pick her because she was so boring. Like I was just like, there's no way she's gonna go.
I didn't think she was boring.
Oh my goodness. I got so mad, dude. Because then, here's the thing. So the first episode of the finale was him breaking up with the other two. It was really entertaining. And then
Really entertaining to see their heartbreak.
broken
it was good. It was good
Love
TV. It was good TV. It's what The Bachelor's all about. I
Okay,
wanted just
okay,
the drama,
sure, yeah.
the intensity, the passion. And then the second episode was just like
Yeah.
so
No, it was
awkward and flat. It was
because
like,
in the first half hour, it was pretty much done. They were like, "Oh yeah, him and Cassie will be together." Okay.
Right.
And then it was like, "Wait, but there's still like an hour left. What are they actually going to do at this time?" And so yeah, but it was fine. Yeah.
and then
We had a good time watching it.
they revealed the Bachelorette, but like they did this whole, how at the beginning of the season, all the contestants meet the Bachelor or the Bachelorette. They decide to do that night. They get like 5 people that come in and meet the new Bachelorette that night. And so when you do that live, it was just kind of
Oh goodness.
it
That
made me
poor
stressed
girl,
out.
Man,
if
she
you work at
was
App
thrown in
TV,
there.
that would make you stressed. I mean, like it was.
She's just yeah. Well, and Dovy was saying too, it's like a real person is the Bachelorette now instead of like, because most of the time they're very poised.
They're very poised.
They
yes.
know what they're saying. They probably have multiple takes to be able to say things right, so they don't sound stupid. But she was just like shaking
I
and
don't
like,
know.
She's not as eloquent.
Oh no, even during the season she was not eloquent.
Oh, I know. She
Dude, the
couldn't even
girl
make a
could not
toast.
talk. No, the girl. Anytime she opened her mouth, it was just like, yeah, mm-hmm,
Like,
yeah. It's
okay.
like, girl, stop, please. Just say something.
Anything. Okay. I appreciate y'all being here so
Yeah.
that I don't have any boys to vent this to. I don't have I got Nate, but like,
Okay. But Nate's just kind of like,
it's just nobody's I didn't know if there's anybody as frustrated as I was about this. I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to watch the next season, but
yeah.
it was a
Well,
lot.
maybe next time you can win in the league.
In the league? Yeah, I know. Now I know who to pick. I know who to go for.
Do you though?
I don't know. I'm a boy. I don't know these things. But we'll be right back. We're going to have Real or Fake News on the morning app.
Morning App on 90.5 WASU and WASUradio.com.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
I knew that was coming, dude.
Which means, you know what we do on Wednesdays? We got real or fake news. It's one of our favorite games to play. And for those of you who are maybe tuning in for the first time, the concept is simple. Katie's going to read out some article titles, and we just simply have to guess whether or not it's real or it's fake. And it's actually a lot harder than you'd think. So.
I've mastered at least somewhat of a poker face. Not really.
That's right.
That's the dream.
All right. Well, whenever you are ready.
I need the music first.
Does everybody know the rules? Simply
just
announce whether you believe it is real or fake. Let us begin.
All right. So the first one, fight over Cheez-Its leads to arson.
What's arson?
Fire.
Fire.
Okay. Like arsenal.
Except they're not fire.
They're not fire. But I think of they're not okay, yeah. I'm going to say that is real because this is over some Cheetos, you said?
Cheez-Its.
Oh, never mind. If it was Cheetos, because they got flaming hot Cheetos.
Oh my God.
You don't know what can happen in that process. I'm still going to say it's real.
I was about to say,
Because I
does
think
the
that could be an
snack
interesting story.
choice really make that much of a difference?
Yes. I'm going to say it's real, though.
Okay.
I think it's still real.
Okay.
It's Cheez-Its. If Josh was involved, I know that a fire would start because he loves Cheez-Its so much.
Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I feel like my gut is telling me it's true, so I'm going to go with real because I want to believe that it
That's how I feel.
happens. Although it sounds really tragic, so I don't know. But I feel like it could happen. I don't know. Yeah. Gonna go with real.
I think it's definitely real. Absolutely.
Woo!
Okay.
Did you get extra points?
All right. So it is real.
Yeah. Of course.
I also I had the article open on my phone and I put it down. I don't know if you had seen that, but I switched the order so that it'd be first, so that it'd be an easy one, at least if you had happened to see my phone with the Cheez-It thing pulled up.
What's the story?
Okay, so it was a man in Georgia. He had allegedly locked his family inside a house and lit it on fire after his family argued about Cheez-Its. It doesn't really say much about it. The family was fine, so they were able to get everyone out through a window, I think.
But he did that with his family inside.
Yeah.
He was gonna murder his family over Cheez-It conversation.
I don't know, but
dude, what?
I don't know.
Nate's face is this is what it's like when you play this game, dude. You hear some weird stuff.
It's been weirder before, but
and most of these things happen in Florida usually.
no, but this is Georgia, so they.
Yeah.
Close.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh goodness, yeah.
All right.
Yep. So there's that.
On to the next one.
All right, yeah, on to the next one. Okay, this one's a little more tame. Starbucks adds secret menu drink to actual menu. The concentration on Dovy's face right now is so...
They just add a secret... There's just secret item on a regular menu, that's it? That's not newsworthy.
It sounds like a conspiracy.
I mean, there's mythic menu items on almost every... You ever heard of that? McDonald's had a certain... I'm gonna say it's fake. I don't think that's newsworthy.
Lexi's looking around the microphone to see my face.
I feel like I would have heard about it more on Twitter or something, and I didn't see anything about it. Because, everyone would be, freaking out if there was anything at Starbucks, but there's not, so...
Okay.
I feel like that's also fake. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
That's what I'm gonna
okay.
say.
If I say it's fake, then that means we would have all said the same thing so far for every question.
That's...
I do think it's fake, but I'm going to say it's real.
You don't have to say it's real just because.
It's real.
Okay, well...
I'll say it's real.
You chose poorly.
Dang
it. It is fake. You're right. Twitter would have been lit up about it. Yeah.
Blowing up.
I had to try.
What would it be, though?
I don't know. I'm thinking, how they always have, I think I remember seeing something about like a March themed one, like a secret drink you could get that would be like green or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Or like a
something that looks
shamrock
like-
shake type thing.
Yeah. But
Usually, Starbucks always announces when they make something. You know, the unicorn, mermaid, whatever that
oh, gosh.
frappuccino is. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. Do they still have that?
I hope not. It looks scary to drink. I'd be like,
It was pretty.
oh man. But
Okay. Are we ready?
I am. Let's do this.
All right.
What's the next one?
Missing dog found 3 states over.
Yeah, that could happen. Yeah. I think it might have like hopped onto like an abandoned or like a train car or something maybe, or like maybe just stray dog like hops on the back of like hitches sometimes. I don't know. But like I feel like that could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's real.
Y'all say it's real?
Yeah, it's definitely real.
I think it's fake. I'm gonna say it's fake because I don't know. It just doesn't seem like woo news. You know, I wouldn't. I feel like that happens all the time.
Okay.
That's my justification.
All right.
I'm gonna say it's fake. I'll say
Okay.
it's real.
Well, Dovy is right.
Aw.
Sad.
This is for y'all.
You get nothing. Good day, sir.
Oh God.
Classic.
Yes.
Oh man.
Sad.
I mean,
But-
but I get why you would guess that because I could see that. Like anybody would.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be comfortable with just like a dog hopping on my truck, like whatever.
Whatever.
We'll just keep going.
Just keep going.
Get some company over here.
Oh my goodness. That's funny. All right. You ready for
One
the
more?
last one? All right. Another crazy one, I guess. Florida man arrested for throwing cookie at girlfriend.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Yes.
What kind of cookie?
It doesn't say in that.
Oh yeah, that is.
That's totally-
crucial.
That's literally so important. I need to know.
Because it is a crime to have a cinnamon raisin cookie.
Also, like
is a
certain
crime.
cookies are gonna have better aerodynamics.
Yeah, like
Since-
Oreo versus like chocolate chip cookie.
Right, or you mean a sugar cookie's just gonna glide.
Right.
'Cause it's smooth.
Right.
Like those Harris Teeter cookies can knock you out because they're like hockey pucks. You know, there's
Oh.
a lot to consider here. But it happened in Florida. I'm gonna
So
say.
he was arrested. Was that it? He was arrested. Is that what it said?
Yes.
He was arrested.
I feel like that's a stretch though. I don't think someone should be arrested for throwing a cookie. Maybe unless it was like a big deal. I'm gonna say fake though because I don't think someone should be arrested for that. Maybe. Yeah.
I think it's real.
I think it's real.
I think it's real.
I want it to be real. That's the thing. All right. We're locked in?
Yeah.
Locked in.
Okay, so it's real.
I'm so
Sorry,
proud of this.
Lexi. No, it's okay. It seems like something that shouldn't happen, but I guess it did. But it says he threw a hard piece of cookie. It doesn't say what kind of cookie. I'm sorry.
And a piece of cookie.
Yeah, it's a hard piece of cookie.
Just a
That's
piece?
what it says. Just a piece.
What was he arrested for?
And it hit her in the forehead. And I guess, I don't know.
Did she like pass out from it? Like what?
Yeah, it just says that, and it doesn't even say that he did in fact throw the cookie. It says reportedly threw a cookie. So I guess they weren't even.
There's more to the
Yeah,
story.
because it's like allegedly throwing cookie.
They were
at
having a
girlfriend.
cookie fight.
So they don't. You don't know. But I guess that was something that I don't know. It really doesn't say much about it. But it's just
I like the mystery.
the mystery. You just can fill in the details on your own. You
I'm
know,
okay
like
with that.
what led up to just throwing a cookie? Like
this
what
like a-
would?
I feel like
Why would you waste a cookie like that?
Olympic athlete throwing a cookie? How old was the cookie? What kind of cookie was it?
Yeah, it did
It's
say
just-
a hard piece of cookie, so maybe it was pretty old.
These are the questions the jury is going
Like
to
I can't believe you let
Yeah.
these cookies go to
That's
waste.
the only jury duty I want to do.
yeah.
Oh
What
my
kind of
gosh.
cookie was it, though? Oh, man. Well, we're going to be right back. We still have a lot more. We have the relationship segment coming up after this break. So stick around. We're going to be asking a question about whether your partner is lying. Oh, no.
And now back to the morning app on 90.5 WASU.
So when you're getting in a new relationship, you feel like you gotta have
What's that?
you gotta have like a little warning signs radar, right?
Okay.
Things that'll make you go, not really sure if I should pursue what I'm pursuing.
I thought he was gonna go into the Kermit voice for a
Yeah.
second. Did you hear that?
I was gonna go into the Kermit voice and I was gonna like say stuff that every Bachelor says. I don't know if I think I started off the sentence, I don't know if I'm gonna pursue. I don't know if we have a real connection. I feel like as if though they always start off okay, anyways.
Yeah, okay.
We're done talking about the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Here's what the reason I wanted to ask y'all because so I don't know if you've seen this recent video of like R. Kelly in an interview freaking out.
Oh yeah.
There was another
It's a meme now.
Yeah, he was just going crazy. It was like a very direct interview about his previous allegations, and there was another video that I saw about a. I guess she works in crime investigation, and she's a body language expert.
Oh.
And so she watched the video talking about all the things that he was doing body language wise and whether or not he was lying about certain things. I mean, there's some things that are really obvious. Like
Yeah.
when he was saying yes, he was shaking his head like,
Oh.
yes, yes, you know, or like when he was nodding his head,
no.
he was like, no, you know, it was
Oh,
so
my.
Yeah, that's weird.
weird. That stuff's pretty obvious. But there were some things that he was doing that I didn't even think of that like liars do. One thing that he was doing was when he was trying to explain something or like convince the interviewer of something, he would say the same thing over and over again with different pitches. She said that
yeah.
when people lie, they typically will change the pitch of their voice. So they'll be like, I did not do it. I did not do it. I did not do it. Right? Like that's a good sign they're fake. Or sometimes it can be like, I did not do it. I did not do it. You know, whatever it is. Like
Okay,
the pitch versus someone who's telling the truth is going to be like,
They're
no,
flat out. They're like,
I didn't do it.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it just comes out. You
Yeah.
know, I might be teaching liars how to lie better, and it's kind of a bad thing. But the reason that got me thinking, I was like, what are maybe some signs that you can pick out in people when you can tell they're lying? Because I think that's a really big no-no, and for me at least in a relationship is when, because you know, if people are off the bat lying about stuff. How can you avoid that? Is there anything that you notice in people like when they're lying that you can be like, not sure?
They
if I
won't
can
look
trust
you in the
them?
eye.
Yeah.
Or it's really hard to, at least,
Yeah.
like for most people to look someone in the eye when you're lying to them.
Or even when you try to bring up something, like if you can tell they don't want to answer it, but like they keep changing the topic,
Yeah.
and you're like, hold on,
kinda
can we
glaze
go
over
back to
it.
this? Or they'll try to like bring up something else that you did, or like, you know, it's just kind of ways to kind of skirt around it, and you're like, wait a second, we never finished talking about that. Hold on, I see what you're doing here. And then that kind of throws you off.
One thing that she mentioned that I picked up a lot on The Bachelor, actually. I hate to do this.
Okay.
When people say stuff like, when they just don't get to the point.
Okay.
If you ask them a question and then they say stuff that's similar to, I feel as though, or it kind of feels like to me, you know, if they're just kind of dancing around to get to the answer, it's not just, boom, here's the answer.
Yeah.
And they're kind of just dancing around it like, yeah, I mean, in my perspective, I feel like as though if, you know.
Some of that with at least The Bachelor, it seems to me like, goodness, that sounds bad. No, it's, the way I've seen it is that they're not only trying to like talk to Colton or like The Bachelor trying to like get their points across, they're also trying to make sure they're presenting their best self on TV so that the audience doesn't hate them. Because I saw that a lot with Cassie. You could tell she was very carefully picking her words because she doesn't want to be seen as like the villain or like, oh, he shouldn't have chose her because she hesitated here or because she said this and that was the wrong thing to say. You know, most of the time in situations like that, you're able to, like when you're dealing with relationships, you're able to have a lot more time. Like you can say something and then be able to explain it more and not have it taken out of context on TV. Or like be framed as a villain. You know, you don't have to worry about that.
Well, when you're in a normal relationship, you have the option to just say, I don't really know right now.
Yeah.
Because you have time.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to like, You know,
There's not a commercial break in 25
Right.
seconds.
Yeah.
exactly. You can say, you know, to be honest, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I might have to sleep on that. You know, you have that option. But typically, again, like people that lie are gonna try to, even though they have that time, they might dance around a little bit more about it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think I've heard that you can just tell from. I mean, if you're really good, you can tell from how people's eyes dilate.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
How could you?
It's hard to like focus
Yeah.
on. Like,
Yeah.
how-
I'm not trying to be like, do you like this restaurant? Just stare into the eyes, and they're like, they dilated.
It would be harder too with people who have darker eyes to really see that, because some people you really can't see their people like that well, or I don't know.
So I don't know. I just think I don't know. I mean, what are some other warning signs? I guess besides lying that just immediately, I guess that you specifically look for if you're getting to know anybody, not even in a, you know, intimate relationship, but I guess even in like friendships. Like, what's something that makes you look at somebody and go, I don't know if I can trust this person or be friends with this person in the long run?
I think that as manipulation, but like specifically emotional manipulation, by like always complaining about things, and then just kind of whenever you try to complain about something, or like whenever you have a serious problem, they're not there for you in return, but they're always expecting you to be there and for you to comfort them when they're having some kind of breakdown, which like is fine. Like everyone has like days where it's just like everything's going wrong.
Yeah.
And so, but you know, like you deserve someone, like a friend or like partner, whatever it is, that you deserve someone who's going to be there for you too, no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're having a bad day. But it's just, I think that's one thing that really frustrates me, is when you can tell someone is just honestly kind of using you as like, I don't know, like for attention kind of, you know, like when someone just really wants attention and they just need as many people to like pay attention to them as possible.
Yeah.
And so it's not so much
Yeah.
a friendship anymore. It's like a very one-sided friendship, if that makes sense.
They got to release that toxic energy.
Yeah. It's like,
To the whole
okay,
world.
eventually it just gets
Right.
to the point where you realize, like, once you try to be like, okay, I'm going through something, like, and they aren't very receptive to it, that you're like, okay, yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna,
Yeah.
not gonna be good. But
And I feel like there's also a difference between like being there for someone and then like I feel like we've all met those people who like kind of invalidate how you feel without meaning to,
Yeah.
and they like kind of make it seem like, oh, well, your situation isn't that bad. Like you shouldn't
Yeah.
be feeling
Yes.
that
Guys
way
are the
'cause
worst
it's not
with that.
bad.
Guys are
Guys are pretty-
specifically the worst with that,
Yeah.
because we always tried. Like if to us when a guy comes to another guy,
Yeah.
it's a very honorable thing. It's like oh, he's asking me for advice, because usually guys try to take care of things
Okay.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So we're not very good with feelings. We're not very good with just being like, dang, that does suck. You know,
Yeah.
we're sorry. You know.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
know
you're
if it-
trying to like diffuse the bomb, and
Right,
it's like, okay,
which
no,
is like
I
our
need
way
to
to
rant. Let me have this time to just explain everything that's wrong with today.
Right.
And
and
they're
it's
like,
not
"No, no, it's
necessarily
fine."
we're doing it. I mean, I
No,
don't think
yeah.
it's we're doing anything wrong. I think it's just different languages.
Yes,
And it
yeah.
just kind of, that's, you know, it just gets funky.
No, but where it gets bad is when they're basically like, every time you try to bring up something, they're like, no, you're fine, like stop, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like,
that's not help. That's just pushing it away.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's making it worse.
Right.
And-
yeah, so then
and
you're
it
like,
doesn't feel
okay,
good.
now I can't go to this person for things,
Yeah.
Right.
and that's
Yeah.
just not good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I might look in a little bit more. I thought that was just really interesting.
No, that
I,
is.
I think I want to watch some more videos on body language and see if.
Oh gosh,
You know, what
he's
else I
gonna
could
be the
pick up.
master of real or fake news now, because he's just gonna.
I'm doing it to get ready for the next Bachelor fantasy league, really. Just
Oh
to
my
kind of.
gosh.
But that too. That'll be. I mean, that's really what I should be focusing on, is real or fake news. You know.
No,
Being able to pick that
no,
stuff
no. Forget about really. Nah.
Hey, we'll be right back. We'll wrap up the show and just throw out some really quick news for you after this break.
WASUradio.com.
We're wrapping up the show, but we're gonna just drop some really quick news. I guess that's happening. If you haven't made any plans for next weekend, the most recent movie by Jordan Peele, it's called Us, is already
It
getting.
looks so creepy, dude.
Yeah, people are saying that this movie was so creepy, so scary.
Have you guys heard about the movie, like what the plot line is?
A little bit.
I saw the trailer the other night and I was like, what even? Because it's not very clear on what the premise is. But my roommate was saying that it's basically these people have these clones of themselves that just appear, I guess, or something. I don't know what that exact plot line is, but they start attacking them and they're like trying to, I guess, kill them. I don't know.
Like the only way they can survive is
Yeah.
to defeat themselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
So then it's apparently sometimes their clones will wear like really creepy masks, but sometimes they'll just look like them, and it's just really weird.
Yeah.
But that's why it's called Us, I guess, because it's like yeah.
Symbolism.
Yeah, people are. What? I get it. People are tweeting that if Jordan Peele keeps this up, he's going to be like the new Alfred Hitchcock of our time because the
What
last.
else has he done?
Well, the last thing he did was Get Out,
Get out.
Oh,
which
that
also
one-
did.
okay.
I don't know if it's still 100%, but when it came out,
It's at 98.
it's at 98 now, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And this movie's probably going to be within that range, within the upper, 95% and up, somewhere up there. And I think that's just great because usually scary movies are difficult to pull off, or they get really
Very.
cliche.
Yeah.
So it's just really refreshing to have something like that. So we'll be keeping an eye on that because we do love seeing our movies here on the morning app and talking
Yes.
about them the next day. But until then, we thank you so much for tuning into our show with all of our new cast for today. Hope you all have an awesome Wednesday, and we will see you on Friday.